On September 9, 2025, eastern Poland's quiet night was shattered. Imagine relaxing at home when suddenly, the sky fills with Russian-made military drones, over a dozen crossing into NATO airspace. This wasn't a glitch, it was a bold incursion, coinciding with a massive Russian attack on Ukraine, hundreds of drones and missiles raining down next door. As Ukraine endured chaos, some of that danger spilled into Poland, like fireworks from a neighbor's wild party landing on your roof. Polish and NATO fighter jets, including Dutch pilots, scrambled fast, shooting down at least 8 drones. Wreckage from 17 drones was found scattered across the countryside, but miraculously, no one was hurt. This was a historic first NATO forces directly engaging Russian military assets over a member's territory. The war in Ukraine had crossed a line, literally, forcing Europe to confront a threat it hoped to avoid. The message was clear, the conflict was no longer contained. The world was forced to pay attention. Poland's leaders wasted no time, this was no accident. Foreign Minister Sikorski declared, "These were not mistakes. When you launch hundreds of drones, you know where they're headed." Prime Minister Tusk echoed the sentiment online. "We wish it was a mistake, but it wasn't, and we know it." The government's message was unified. This was a deliberate provocation. Deputy Defense Minister Tomczyk called it a deliberate Russian attack. President Naraki saw it as a test of NATO's response. Poland believed Russia was probing NATO's defenses, playing a dangerous game. In response, Poland invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty, calling for urgent consultations. It was a clear signal. Poland demanded action, not just words. The government also called for an emergency UN Security Council meeting, putting the world on notice. The stakes had never been higher. As Europe condemned the incursion, former US President Trump offered a different take. It could have been a mistake. His comment clashed with Poland's firm stance and quickly sparked controversy. Trump's social media posts and interviews mixed frustration with ambiguity, offering no clear call for action. Polish officials swiftly rejected the mistake theory, reaffirming their analysis and resolve. For Poland, this was a direct threat, no room for doubt. The contrast highlighted a divide. For Poland, the incident was a crisis. For Trump, it was just another headline. This difference underscored Eastern Europe's anxiety about Western unity. In moments like this, clarity and solidarity matter most. Poland's Article 4 alarm forced NATO to act, and act it did. U.S. Ambassador Whitaker and General Grinkowicz reaffirmed, "We will defend every inch of NATO territory." NATO launched Operation Eastern Sentry, a new mission to reinforce its eastern flank with air and ground forces. Think of it as installing a high-tech security system after a break-in. Denmark, France, Britain, and Germany quickly pledged troops and support. Germany extended its air policing over Poland, adding more eyes to the sky. Across Europe, the message was unified. A test against one NATO member is a test against all. Germany and France summoned Russian ambassadors. The UK reaffirmed support for Poland. The consensus: this was a deliberate Russian test of NATO's resolve. NATO's swift, united response sent a message. Test received and answered. The alliance stood firm. Why does this matter? For Poland, it was a stark reminder. Living next to conflict means danger is always close. The drones were a physical sign that the war in Ukraine could spill over at any moment. For NATO, it was a real-world test of collective defense. Words became action. The alliance's rapid response reinforced trust and deterrence. The contrast between European unity and Trump's comments showed how fragile alliances can be. Political shifts in one country ripple across the globe. The drone incident drew a line in the sky, forcing everyone to choose a side. It was a wake-up call. Peace and security demand vigilance, unity, and resolve.